So this project here is part of a grant called Restoring Language and Culture. And it was imagined, I think, first of all, by a gentleman by the name of Andrew Judge, an Indigenous Studies professor here at the college. And then it was further developed by Garrison McCleary. And both those folks have moved on from the college. We now have a new Indigenous Studies professor that's heading up. But been brought in as a settler, and as somebody who's worked with Indigenous folks for a long time, to kind of help out and help to manage the garden.
This is one of the research grants that one of our Indigenous faculty put forward. Wonderful idea. I'll be very honest, but by being in the garden and having some of our classes taught in the garden, teaching Indigenous courses is really rooted, forgive the pun, is really rooted in the land. You have to have a good understanding, respect, and relationship with the land.
One of the things that the grant is supposed to do, employ students, and to also educate students and teach students as well. This is a teaching garden. The way that the mounds are constructed really kind of help to retain the water. They're layered with rotting wood, soil, and then mulch as well. And all that helps to kind of keep that water in the soil. And that's another reason why you sort of see what you see behind me right now, which is a verdant, really vibrant garden.
Well, I joined on with Sven in June, and what we've been doing here is a lot of it's just been like plant revitalization of indigenous plant species. So like we got like tobacco, sage, sweetgrass, corn, beans, and squash growing up in here, as long as with potatoes and stuff. And my job here has essentially been like helping weed it, make sure everything's taken care of, watering the plants, keeping bug species under control, and then now harvesting plants as well.
Wachie, Ozawi Gnu Ape Nijtakaz, Kansas Lake First Nation Ninjaba, Anishinaabe Kwe, Muskododem. My English name is Zandra Bear Lowen, and I'm from Kansas Lake First Nation, and I'm a professor here of Indigenous Studies at Conestoga College. We have 3 of our medicines, which is our sweetgrass, our sage, and our cedar. We didn't plant the tobacco this year, but it also feeds a lot of people in the area. So a lot of the food will go to different organizations that will help with food banks. Some are directly for Indigenous people, but a lot of that food will go, like I said, to the local community, but also to the feasts that we will hold with Conestoga and the Indigenous services, Bidawin Gamik. It's a small garden, but it does feed a lot of people. And it's really important to have this type of garden for our college community and the community at large, because it brings people together. When we opened the garden this spring, we asked for that, for people to come together, to share, to learn, to put that energy into Mother Earth, to prepare the plants.
We have a number of different gardens within the city. That's kind of like our focus. We have 4 different food gardens, or 3 different food gardens and a medicine garden. I just wanted to spend just a little bit of time talking about tobacco. This is the flower of tobacco. It's actually quite pretty, nice design, and a little bit yellow. And pollinators love the tobacco flower. And so for tobacco, I'm from the Métis community here in the Grand River area. And as a Métis person, life is based on a whole system of giving and receiving. So we give to the plant as well as receive from the plant.
And so one of the things that we're trying to do here at the Indigenous Teaching Garden is we got some pawpaw seeds. I know a couple places where I can forage them, is propagate these seedlings. So we striated some seeds over the winter time, and then what we did was after striating these seeds. Striating means basically put them through a period of cold like they would get in nature. And then we planted them, and then we got about 50%. So we built this little structure out of reclaimed pallet wood in order to shade these pawpaws and have them come along. And you can sort of see not only the rehabilitation of the land here at Conestoga College, but also some of the other locations within the Waterloo region will be putting pawpaws in those areas, which is kind of exciting as a tree species that was sort of wiped out largely in this area and that we're beginning to bring back now.
The volunteers you're going to see here aren't necessarily students or even staff of the college. That's how important, these kinds of projects are to the community.
If folks are curious, get in touch with Indigenous Studies, the Indigenous Services Center here at Conestoga College. Come out in the garden. We're all happy to have people out here to show the garden. We prefer not so much that you tour it, that you visit the land, that you develop a relationship with the land, and often we'll ask you to do something. That's kind of important here, that you actually do something, because there's always lots to do in a garden.